Pima Community College Information Series. ADR Support in Adult Basic Education. What is ADR? ADR is an acronym that stands for Access and Disability Resources, or ADR for short. ADR assists students with accommodations and access to facilities, technology, services, and academic programs. ADR is dedicated to working with students, faculty, and staff to identify and resolve barriers to all programs and services at the college. There's an ADR representative for all of the adult basic education campuses. At the El Pueblo Liberty Learning Center, you may contact Renee Camphouse at rcamphouse@pima.edu or Matt Stutzman at mstutzman4@pima.edu. At the El Rio Learning Center, you may contact Tony Taylor atttaylor@pima.edu or Matthew Clay at mclay2@pima.edu. And at our 29th Street Coalition Center, you may contact Jane Irie at jirie@pima.edu or Karen Smith at kmsmith8@pima.edu. ADR serves individuals with all kinds of disabilities. Many disabilities are not visible. We work with students who have ADHD, learning disabilities, psychiatric disabilities, on the autism spectrum, blind and low vision, deaf and hard of hearing, traumatic brain injuries, developmental disabilities. The disabilities listed here are just some examples, but ADR serves a multitude of students with various disabilities. If you're not sure if what you have is considered a disability, please contact ADR. The first step is to apply to ADR online. Go to www.pima.edu and click on your My Pima page. On your My Pima homepage, scroll down, and towards the bottom on the right-hand side, you will see the ADR column. Click on ADR Online for students or note-takers registered with ADR. On the next page, click on New ADR Student Application. Once you've filled in the required information, click Submit Application. Another option is to go to www.pima.edu. From the menu at the top, choose Student Resources. From the drop-down menu, choose Access and Disability Resources. Then click on To Request ADR Services, Complete an Application. At that point, choose New ADR Student Application. You can sign into your MyPima account and complete the steps. You will be asked to provide documentation of your disability. The documentation should be from a licensed professional who is qualified to diagnose and treat the condition. Your documentation should support your accommodation request. If you're not sure if the documentation you have will be accepted, or you're unsure of what to provide, talk to ADR. Once your application has been reviewed, it will be assigned to a program specialist. At that point, you will receive an email or a phone call to set up an appointment for an intake. Intakes can be virtual or in person. During the intake, you and your specialist will discuss how your disability affects you and the barriers you encounter in class. This will be to determine if and what reasonable academic accommodations can be put in place. It's important to know that accommodations are not provided to guarantee that you pass the class or understand the material, but rather to give students with disabilities equal access to the class and materials as students without disabilities. Accommodations vary from individual to individual, depending on the disability and course objectives. Some examples of accommodations include extended test time on the TABE, sign language interpreters, materials in Braille or in large print, reduced distraction room for testing, preferential seating, FM systems for hearing impairments, and assistive technology. Assistive technology can include speech-to-text as well as text-to-speech programs, screen readers, and screen magnification. There are also many low-cost and no-cost apps that can be helpful. Demonstrations are available through the ADR office. Keep in mind that you must know how to use a computer to use these programs, as ADR does not teach computer skills. ADR does not handle accommodations on the GED. You must go through the GED agency to request accommodations on the exam. They require professional documentation as well. You can get full information on the GED website. In your browser, type ged.com/about_test/accommodations/. You can also go directly to ged.com and type accommodations in their search bar. This web page will give you information on how to request accommodations, as well as the documentation you need to submit to them. Questions? Want more information? Feel free to contact us at adrhelp@pima.edu. Thanks for watching.